a grassroots, gameplay-focused TCG, bristling with integrity, fan base on the rise going up. Kickstarter, revelry, podcasts and broadcasts, magazines, creators, and a presence now worldwide going up. Poor money management, ignorance, abandonment, abuse of generosity. Welcome to the ride going down. There's a concept in professional development called the Peter Principle. The Peter Principle is the phenomenon, we'll call it a phenomenon, that an employee gets promoted to the point of incompetence. Now, that's not to suggest that they were incompetent themselves. That simply just means that the exemplary performance of the skill set that they were applying that got them a promotion is no longer required for that position. These are like the people who have like those technical skill sets and they move into like supervisory positions and managerial positions. And suddenly that little skill set now needs to shift over to leadership and all those kinds of things. And it's a whole different world, and they suddenly become incompetent because the skills that got them to where they are, they're just not useful anymore. It's called the Peter Principle. The reason I bring up the Peter Principle is because, well, in the realm of TCGs, as we talk about trading card games and the companies and whatnot, it's god the damn everywhere. And I felt that it's really important for companies to acknowledge. And if you're one of those companies, then surprise, you're in for a whole world of hurt when you realize that this game that you made is suddenly a fucking business. And it's a whole new batch of insanity. And I say this also, I don't want to say the word victim. We're not going to go with the word victim here. That's not really what happened, but I found myself in the middle of a situation with Haunted Castle Gaming where that is in kind of a sense of what ultimately happened. We had a creator, and the transition over into business land is not really a thing that went well. And a lot of people are thinking that, you know, this is going to be like a big tell-all expose, and trust me, I appreciate the irony as somebody who's been trying to put games on blast for just crappy standards, being with the one that decided to go under first. It's not lost to me, trust me. But this isn't going to be some crazy little expose or anything like that. But there are themes between what happened here and things that I see trend and just are normal things throughout other games out there. So that's going to be where we're at. I pondered how long did I want to do this one? How long did I want to do this video for? And I've decided to settle on 15. One for each month that I was with the company. So there we go. Off we go to begin. So, also, we're doing beer for the day. Doing a beer for the day. Beer for the day is Compass. Compass IPA, because I had it. I had to. Compass IPA from Bristol Brewing, because if there's anything that the fucking TCG world needs nowadays, it's some goddamn direction. See what I did? Okay. Anyway, so, before I jump too far, I use the term Temper-Tantrum Era. If you're unfamiliar with the concept of the Temper-Tantrum Era, as I've been kind of trying to coin it, it is this era of TCGs where they do not need to prove themselves on the shelf to be treated as if they're successful, to appear successful, to give you that perception of success. All the things that have worked for the last 30 years for the big three, 25 plus years for the big three, all that stuff is just, it's gone bye-bye. It is gone. And it's just not interesting anymore. And instead, we've got anybody who can just get a content creator to throw some vomit up there and say this is going to be the next big thing suddenly works. And that drives me nuts. It drives me absolutely insane that there's this thought that they're just going to be solidified in the cardboard world because they existed on the internet. And that sucks. So that's why I'm doing this. So anyway, before we get too far, cheers. Cheers, everybody. All right. All right. So, as we look at the world of the game creators that are out there, and as I think about my problems, my frustration, and all of that, there are a lot of passionate game creators who don't realize that they're starting a business. And I'm not saying that everybody's perfect, but there's just some really basic things that I kind of miss. And there's been a lot of TCGs that have been out there in the Temper-Tantrum era, and they've just kind of come, and then they just... Nothing has happened. And it's just because they can't wrap their minds around, I was a game creator. I have this game that everybody likes that I'm pretty sure I can get money for. And instead what happens is they get money for that, and then it just, they deliver it, and then that's the end, because they forgot that they're starting a business. And the internet doesn't seem to understand that there is a difference between the two things. I'm going to give you a real good example. These guys, these guys, Back Alley Mages. So these guys, I had an interview with them where I asked them the 60 seconds on the clock of, give me your elevator pitch. I'm a gamer. What do you think was going to get me into your game? And I got sort of 60 seconds. It was close, but it was kind of on the spot. So I got that, and then I asked them the same question. I said, do it again, but this time I'm a store. And they couldn't comprehend the fact that those are two different answers. That was just beyond them. And that boggled my mind. The other thing that boggles my mind is just basics of scaly things. Look, this is, these are their cards. They're all foil and rough and bad, and they made it so I can't even read the damn text because somebody didn't understand how CMYK works. Growing pains. Please learn what CMYK is. Please learn that the thing you see on the screen is going to print darker. It's the difference between additive and subtractive colors. I'm putting pigment as opposed to reducing light. That's a whole nother thing. Anyway, rough. So Back Alley Mages, I do this whole thing. They have a lot of content creators because the cards are beautiful. The art is gorgeous and all that. They couldn't comprehend the idea that there are different answers between what attracts a fan and a player versus something that attracts a store. The biggest thing that I learned in 2022 is that what makes you a fan does not make you good at the business side. And I had a lot of nauseating conversations around Genesis regarding this. We want all the foils to be perfect, and we want to open 30 boxes and still want to open more. No, that's not a relationship that a game should want to have with their customers. I should not be wanting people to spend $3,000 every set, and that's my sustainable business condition. That doesn't work. When you're a business, when you're looking forward as a card game, you're thinking about things like wallet fatigue. You're thinking about things like barrier to entry. It is not normal for somebody to buy 80 boxes and be fine with it. And that it's just, it's for some reason that's oddly the norm, because the internet's going to come in, your little Discord community's going to come in, right? And they're going to just start cracking packs, and it's Schrodinger's booster pack, right? Nobody knows whether or not this thing is going to be good or bad. But as soon as that product is opened, everybody knows, and that's when it all just disappears. And I can't as a card game be okay with going to stores and going to distro and saying oh yeah, I have all these people who bought 40 boxes of product and they all cracked it open, and they might not be doing anything with it now, but they all bought 40 boxes of product, and that's a healthy relationship that we should be having with customers. No, nobody is going to say that. No store is going to buy into a game where that's the business model. That isn't a thing, because they have to think about product churn. They have to think about the idea that eventually this box needs to run out, and then somebody else is going to come and they're going to get more. They're going to get more, and then it's going to run out. And they got to figure out how to get stuff to run out over and over and over and over again as time progresses. That's the thing that a lot of them don't realize. That's the thing that makes me just pissed off about stupid crap like this thing of I'm going to buy 80,000 boxes. No, you're not. You print 100,000 boxes and it can't sell for crap because, well, you didn't really cater to the kind of community that buys these on a regular basis. You didn't cater to a community that is going to try to promote the game to get new people to do this. That's the thing about Kickstarter, that if you want to get an idea of whether or not a game is really going to succeed from Kickstarter into the physical communities, take a look not at the number. They love to give you the number, right? They're always we sold $50,000 in 30 seconds. No, you didn't. Fuck off. You got 3 people to give you that. Or some random investor got the uber what the hell tier, and that's what cranked your numbers up. It does not mean that you suddenly have a whole bunch of people who know how to go to a store and try to sell and turn things into a community. And that's just You're not going to be able to get a physical product. Like, I don't know any product that like can serve as a physical thing that works only with an online community. Where the hell did that idea come from? Everybody like sneaks into their Discord and their little echo chambers like, look at all the fans that we have. They got like hundreds, if not into thousands of people in the Discords and following Instagram and Facebook and all those things. And then you go to their actual Kickstarter, you see like 100 people bought something. See, they don't give a shit. They don't care as much as you think. They're happy to say, oh yeah, next big thing, until like the product shows up, and then, you know, Schrodinger's booster box once again. Well, now that we know what the value of the thing is, I'm just gonna hold on that one. It's the thing. I've got a couple of people who are like, with the Genesis Kickstarter stuff, they're like returning back and saying, it's like, oh, I wanted a refund for all of that stuff. I'm kind of not sorry that you're probably not getting one or didn't get one, because you don't get to look at Kickstarter as a risk-free investment platform and say, it's like, oh, you know what? I see that I can't flip this product, so I'm just going to return the thing. No, those companies actually have to like put in the orders for it, and they're spending the money, so fuck the hell off. Just fucking stop. So anyway, they still buy into it though. Like, creators are still buying into that concept of like, oh, we got our Discord community of like hundreds of people and they're all going to help us. But no, they're not. And this is the thing that drives me nuts, even about things like Flesh and Blood, is the fact that there is so much that the community has done to like have their back. And they've like screwed so much up from a business perspective. You come in and you look at things like the allocation issues. You look at the terrible relationship with like direct to seller, or direct sellers online and things like that. You look at the fact you've got businesses that are LGSs that don't know what their product is don't know what their order is gonna look like for like 3 days before something comes out. And you get like Star City that is able to do pre-orders for months, and they give you playmats, and they give you every reason to not go to your local game store and order this thing. And LSS is like, this is fine. This is the norm. That's a relationship you need to fix. That's how business works. You gotta focus on the ones who are gonna buy things at scale, because I got real bad news for you. You're not it. You, the person on the other side of this little monitor here, you, the player, you're not my customer as a business. That's called direct selling or direct to consumer. I need the stores. I need distro. I need the ones to buy like the 10 to 20 to 30,000 boxes. And I need that to be the okay relationship. And I need the product churn to happen. So that way, you know, it rotates through and there is a consistent demand. There's a proof of consistent demand. Not, I made 100,000 boxes, I sold 20 of them, and then you come back and say, oh, look, I sold 100,000 boxes. No, you didn't. You didn't churn through any of it. You didn't churn through it. So no matter how much stupid hype you got for, oh my gosh, all the boxes, doesn't change the fact that it didn't churn through, so nobody's going to order it the next time. You gotta think about the scalable solutions, and nobody fucking does. Nobody thinks about, how am I gonna get my online community who already has product from their Kickstarter, how am I gonna get them to bring more people in? How am I gonna get them to actually go to like an LGS and have new players get new things? They don't think about that. They don't put it out there. I don't understand how this is just so lost on so many. The lack of scalability, the lack of thinking like a business in terms of like profit margins, in terms of what do I need to sell in order to pay employees? What do I need to do in order, like, what is my release timing to ensure that I have a regular amount of revenue coming in? This is kind of why I like the 3 to 4 range is really nice, because you kind of need to keep having revenue come in. One set is just, it's not going to just carry forever until you're done. This is going to be the sorcery thing, but we'll probably chat about that in just a sec. Here's the thing. I don't care, creators. I don't give two diddly shits on how good you are at making a game. I don't care how good your game is. I don't care about any of those things. I don't care if it's the best game in the world. I don't care if it's the worst game in the world. If you can't think like a business, you're dead. You're dead in the water, because your Discord community, your little fan base of, I can take pretty pictures of shiny things, they don't know actually how to turn their ability to go boop into something that becomes a sale for somebody else. That's not a thing. Nobody goes to a store and says, I want the box that I saw on an Instagram account. Fuck off. Fuck the fuckity hell off. And if you want to see this in real action, if you want to see like some real sadness, send yourself over to a Collecticon. Pop into a Collecticon and just go around the racetrack of garbage of people who spend the money to fly out and to rent a table and to get a hotel, and they bring nothing. They don't show off the game. They don't actually have a plan other than trying to get you to like go to a Kickstarter that's going to show up later. They don't even have the decency of like, I'm going to send you to a page that lets you like remind me on launch. Oh my God. There's a game that came out called it didn't come out. That's not going to happen. It's called Defenders of the Wild. And I saw him, and all he had in his booth was a big vertical banner, and then nothing. He had two little promos, and he's like, "Here's my promos. Here you go." And then that was it. That was all. Like, why are you spending that kind of money going out and doing those things? Do you not understand like the basics of like a life cycle and a demand generation strategy and a nurture model where you're actually getting people into like your Discord, you're getting people into like reminding or an email list or anything where you can kind of keep that relationship going. These are fucking basics. But no, I got the big creator on the Instagram. What the fuck's his? I got Kodak. Oh, got Kodak. Nobody gives a shit. 10,000 people can watch his videos. The average is like 200, 300 people on a Kickstarter that they don't exactly care. Like, oh, nobody shows off stuff. And I can't say that about these guys. Back Alley at least had a game to show off, but then we started talking about like the product line and the SKUs. Oh man, because they got like 1 billion dice and they're all different colors and they have all the different little pips. And like, how are you actually going to sell this thing in store? Like, how much does a store actually need to put up in order for somebody to play this game? And they're like, oh, we didn't think that far. That should be like your number one what the hell basic fucking thing is, what do I actually need people to buy? Message to Grimpath, because I know you're probably going to watch this because you're like a minis-based TCG thing, and that's really cool, but like you got to figure out what does the product look like on the shelf if I knew to expand it, because right now the only thing kind of in the back of my mind is like hero clicks. That's kind of what I got. That's kind of what I'm thinking is like that's where we're at. But like think about those things and have a business plan for how in the world are people actually going to expand and how much space is that going to take on the shelf and how many times are people going to need to buy in order to get what they want and how many times are stores going to need to buy in order to get what they want, and do this over and over and over and over again. If you want to see something sad, I swear to God, just go to Collecticon. It's just like this little batch of D-list celebrities that bounce from CAC to CAC like it's Celebrity Survivor or Big Brother. It's real sad. It's real sad. I'm gonna run out of time. I'm gonna add 2 minutes because these are my rules. These are my damn rules. So huzzah! But it's these basics. It's just these like Sorcery. I don't really care that there's $4 million on their Kickstarter. $4 million on the Kickstarter. That's incredible, except you realize that one, they've half-assed just about everything. That boggles my mind. But two, they screwed up their go-to-market. $4 million worth of people have this product in hand, and their barrier to entry is like real bad. But their first, for $4 million, you would think the hype would be bigger, that they wouldn't take their first release post Kickstarter and shove it into direct seller. So that way every local game store is looking and saying, why the hell did you go favorite M? That's a basic of that's basic fucking business relationship. Don't try to get this in the hands of the customers. That's not who your target should be as a business. You need to look at stores, you need to look at distro, unless that specifically is your model, and I'm pretty sure that that's nobody's model because nobody really seems to talk about, we just want to have a little physical community that just exists online, because at that point, I don't know why you're putting words on cards anyway, but like, why are you screwing your go-to-market? Do you understand the basics of these things? Do you understand the idea of the profit margins and how to bring in employees and how to bring in full-time and how to turn prospects into sales and how to have the conversations that lead to your business lasting longer? But instead, no. Look at how many dollars there were on the Kickstarter. Look at how many people liked my post. Look at how good the creator is. Look at how nice of a guy he is. He just seems like he understands. You know what? At the end of the day, I don't give a fuck about your integrity. I don't give a fuck about the quality of your game, of your product, because none of it means shit if you don't know how a business works.